Hey everybody, welcome to The Commit. This week I'm joined by Eric Wu, who's the Executive Director of HackNY. What's up, Eric?
What's up?
Cool, so today we're going to talk a little bit about hackathons and your career and sort of personal development. You know, hackathons are a really fun thing, right? Like it's just like a really fun, intense 48 hours, but you can actually use them both to help your career and sort of, you know, just improve your general knowledge of things. So Eric, tell us a little bit about how hackers can use hackathons to their advantage.
Hackathons are really great for networking and learning. So when you go to a hackathon, there are all different types of people that you can meet there, from your fellow developers, your hackers who come from all different schools or companies.
And different experience levels too.
Yeah. You can meet someone who's just learning some new technology like you are, someone who's super expert level who can help you. On top of that, there are all sorts of other people associated with hackathons, like sponsors, who are there to do different things, mostly to help you find a job or help you get new experiences with their technology. There are different mentors there. There are judges who are usually really high up and great people. There are the organizers. There's just all sorts of people that you can meet at a hackathon.
Obviously, there's a lot of opportunities for networking and maybe some sort of like type of structural learning. But what else can you do at a hackathon to like really get a big impact out of it? Like what other opportunities are there?
Sure, so focused learning is really important. So when you're there for 24 hours, it's a lot better to use the whole weekend and the 24 hours to learn something new or to work on a project that you've been thinking about than it is, in my opinion, to spread it out over the course of a week or a month, just a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Like when you're there, you're sitting down, you're in the right environment, you're working with all the people who are in the same mindset, who are all sort of there to support you and help you or be your teammate. You can get a lot more done, and when you're finished and you end up with a working prototype that you can hold up and just sort of show to yourself and to others, I think it's a really powerful thing. When you're at a hackathon, it doesn't necessarily have to be production level code. You can go in, you can break things.
You don't have to write tests.
Yes, no tests. You can shortcut everything. You don't have to worry about necessarily hackers breaking into your code. You don't have to make it super secure.
So we talked a little bit about some of the opportunities that are available to you at hackathons. Now, what can developers and hackers do sort of going into a hackathon, at the hackathon, and after the hackathon to sort of get the most out of it?
Sure. I would say before going to a hackathon, you should have a goal in mind as to what you want to accomplish when you go to a hackathon. It could be to find a new job or internship. It could be to learn some new technology. It could be to meet new people and expand your networking. Or it could be nothing. You could have no goal. No goal is also a goal. You could just go in with a blank slate and say, I just want to use this weekend and see what happens. Maybe I'll meet somebody, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll talk to somebody, or maybe I'll find an idea when I get there that really speaks to me. But know what you want to do going in. Have a plan.
You mentioned going up to sponsors. Mm-hmm. How can you interact with a sponsor?
So sponsors are there they have their own things that they want to do there. A lot of times they're there to recruit new talent. A lot of times they're there to teach new technology, or they want to introduce their technology to the hackers. If you're going there and your aim is to find a job, or even not necessarily, if you just want to practice interviewing, the sponsors are there to be at your service. Most of them are not there for fun. They're getting paid to be there, and they can be a useful tool for you. So you can practice, pitches with them. You can do elevator pitch. You can say, what do you think about this idea? Or what do you think about even just yourself? Like, say, if I'm looking for a job, give your background, say what you've worked on, and say, what do you think? And maybe you'll stick out in their mind later on.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Being able to pitch not just the technology, the stuff you've worked on, but being able to pitch yourself as a developer, as a person in that sort of 1 or 2 minute type of statement. It helps you sort of sum up and helps you understand even kind of what your abilities are a lot better.
And that's a lot of what hackathons are overall. It's honing your skill to take a lot of information and put it into a very short amount of time. So that can be either with sponsors giving your 2-minute elevator pitch about either yourself or your idea, or at the demo time when you have only 90 seconds or 2 minutes to present this idea that you've worked on for the last 24 hours in a working prototype.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about stuff you can do during the hackathon. What about after the hackathon?
After the hackathon is something that's often forgotten by hackers just because they want to just sleep forever afterwards.
Just face down in the bed.
Yeah, there are definitely things to do after the hackathon that can help you also. So people that you've met, send them a follow-up email. Just say, hey, it was great meeting you. Maybe we can work in the future. LinkedIn is always a great networking tool. Add them on LinkedIn. Definitely cultivate what you learned and the people that you met at the hackathon afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more you can stay engaged, like the more it'll help you sort of as a developer be like, yes, this was cool, and like create a link between all those different opportunities that you have. So I guess for folks who have sort of kept it going after the hackathon and stayed engaged, can you give us some sort of like cool success stories about people who've used it to their advantage?
Sure. There's a young lady named Zyla. She came to a hackathon with a bunch of hardware, and her idea was to build a bear where you could keep in physical contact with someone else from any distance. So she went to the hackathon. I think she met someone there who could assist her, and they built 2 plush toys where if you hugged one of the bears, at the other end you could feel the hug at the other bear.
Like 2 connected teddy bears.
Yeah. And so people loved that, and I think they received a grant afterwards for them to keep that project going. And she just demoed this year at CES.
That's right.
I think people loved it, and now I believe that she has a company.
And interestingly, even when she was presenting at CES, because I know exactly what you're talking about, she still kept going to hackathons and kept doing other really great hacks too. So definitely someone who's really stayed involved with it. Who else can you share with us?
On a smaller scale, anytime you go up and demo, you're just putting yourself out there, and that's a great thing.
Well, folks, I hope that gives you a better idea of how you can use hackathons to both, grow as a developer, grow as a professional, and have a lot of fun. For folks who are interested in the next HackNY, Eric, tell them a little bit about it.
The next HackNY will be October 8th and 9th at NYU Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences. We'll also be opening up applications for the Summer Fellowship for 2017 at that hackathon, so hope you can attend.
And it'll be live streamed in case you can't make it to New York City.
Yep, live stream will be on our website, provided by Major League Hacking. Thanks.
All right, see you next time, everybody.